To turn a Cortina 2-liter GL into the 1982 2-liter Fiat Supermirafiori, there are some things you'd have to add. The twin-cam engine, the power steering, the 5-speed gearbox, the velour upholstery, the electric windows, the central locking. Of course, there are some things you'd have to subtract, including about £800 from the price. Then you'd have it, a 1982 Supermirafiori. It's a good year for Fiat.
How do you address the chairman of Amalgamated Amalgamations?
With the postcode, of course.
Your postcode, his postcode. Please use the postcode.
You're not properly addressed without it. Now, take a portrait of Edwards.
New bird's eye cod steaks in crispy, crunchy breadcrumbs are delicious flakes of juicy white cod in a breadcrumb coating that's totally unique. In fact, we think you'll be a little surprised just how crunchy it really is.
Did you enjoy that, Norman?
Dynamite. New bird's eye fish in crisp crunch crumb. For dinner or lunch, try the fish with the crunch.
I see titchy breakfasts.
We'd better tell them.
We're not airy-fairy cereals, all right? Because we're the Weetabix.
We're not nothing breakfast.
We've got a bit of bite. We're the Weetabix.
Yeah.
If you want to feel like full.
What he's trying to say, you make it neat wheat, mate.
If you know what's good for you, you do.
Okay.
We're the Weetabix. Okay? It's your neat wheat, mate. If you know what's good for you, Weetabix.
Okay.
Where can you find everything for Easter at prices that are hard to beat? Tesco. Dairy Lee cheese portions, only 24.5p. Treat the kids to Jacob's Club biscuits, just 28p. Relax with a cuppa. Quick brew tea bags, only 59p. And Lion Swiss roll, just 19.5p. Thanks to our prices, there's a happy Easter in store at Tesco.
Switch to Michelin, get a grip in the wet. Switch to Michelin, a great ride in the wet. Switch to Michelin, get a grip in the wet. Switch to Michelin, and assist on no other. Switch to Michelin, and assist on no other.
Over the past year, hundreds of thousands of council tenants have sent for the Right to Buy booklet and have applied to buy their council houses or flats. If you're interested, see this advertisement in this week's newspapers or TV Times, or phone 01200 0200 at any time for the Right to Buy booklet.
That's what's going on. That's going on. Wrangler, that's going on. Wrangler, that's what's going on. Wrangler, that's what's going on. Wrangler, that's what's going on. I said Wrangler, that's what's going on. It's Wrangler, that's what's going on. Wrangler, that's what's going on.
There. New Elastoplast Antiseptic Liquid.
Ow!
There. Soothing Elastoplast Antiseptic Cream.
Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick. Oh!
There. More care and protection from Elastoplast.
If you find mowing the lawn an uphill struggle, you don't know Flymo. All Flymo mowers glide effortlessly along and make short work of long grass even when it's wet. Easy to handle, this Flymo mower collects grass, packing the cuttings in tight so it holds more. And this one, with its extra light Kawasaki engine, will get you into and out of the tightest spots. For a neat and tidy lawn,
It's easy when you know Flymo.
Remember the family butcher, only dealing with the complete preparation of the freshest quality meat on the premises, only too willing to pass his knowledge on to apprentices, how to cut it, how to prepare it. It may surprise you, but there are still family butchers just like this behind the scenes in over 400 Tesco stores. It surprises some people anyway.
Did you see that, Mummy?
Today's Tesco, adding new values to value.
Wake it up, wake it up. With Kellogg's Golden Cornflakes, vitamin, vitamin. In every pack of Kellogg's Cornflakes, comes the corn and iron too. Sunshine breakfast, the best to you. Crunchy goodness all the way. Kellogg's Cornflakes every day. Vitamin, iron too. Kellogg's Cornflakes, the best to you.
Hello there, mate. Did your mower up the spout? Well, it's got a bit of rust. There's a lot of it about. Still have a pint of best, mate. Take a little breather. You're right. I deserve it. I've been working like a beaver.
Courage best, courage best, courage best beats all the rest. Don't take my word for it, put it to the test. Courage best beats all the rest. Well, I've been to the east and I've been to the west and I've had a drink in Budapest. To tell the truth, I wasn't impressed. There's nothing in the world like courage best.
Danny, that's old son. Here's to me and you. Cheers. I think the barmaid fancies you. Blimey, don't look now, mate. Guess who's coming here? She's coming here for something and it ain't a pint of beer.
Courage best of a pint of best, but the pint of best beats all the rest. Courage best beats all the rest.
Remember a pint of best. Courage do.
I'm really ravenous.
She's always too busy to feed us.
Hope she remembers Job's houseplant spikes.
Ooh, they're organic.
Job's are easy-to-use fertilizer spikes that give a constant supply of the food we need. Hey, our luck's in.
Job's spikes. Just push them in and they dissolve slowly in the soil.
Easiest way to grow on Earth.
Hello, this Remington air purifier helps to clean air with this Remington scrub air filter. These electret fibers scrub the air clean. Here are clean electret fibers magnified. These fibers are electrostatically charged. The fibers pull dust and fine particles out of the air passing through. Here's how pollen is trapped. The Remington air purifier removes tobacco smoke, pollen, and dust because of this Remington scrub air filter. Get a Remington air purifier. You'll be so glad you did.
Standing up or sitting, hips and waist are fitting. Gloria Vanderbilt the name. They've got style and status, elegance that caters for the girl with everything. Gloria Vanderbilt.
Yeah, the bloke in 146 wants 3 shredded wheat.
3.
With 100% whole wheat nourishment packed into shredded wheat.
Thanks, love.
Who can eat more than 2?
Running your own business often means doing 6 people's jobs yourself.
I wouldn't fancy spending the night on bed living to this one, John. Oh, John in the workshop looking for you.
John, are you sure this lot's for the army?
Telephone call for John. Telephone call for John.
Hello?
We've got it, John, but they don't want 200 tons. They want 400 tons. Stop! Stop!
John, we'll need at least 150,000 if we keep on expanding like this.
Oh, it's not a problem, John. I know just the people.
You do? If your business could do with an extra source of finance, we think at ICFC we understand the small business better than anyone, which makes us more like businessmen than bankers.
Fabricton, this is the Ministry of Defense. I'm glad you like it. We can let you have the other 79 by, tomorrow.
At ICFC, we go out of our way to help your business grow.
Scholars need keen powers of observation. So, can you spot the 20 deliberate mistakes in this pub? If you didn't spot them all, perhaps you need a new pair of glasses. Because when you know lager, you're an Ulster.
You know, you still can't beat the Chevette. Nippy 1256cc engine, slick gear change, corners like it was on rails. No wonder it's such a success in motorsport.
They must think an awful lot of you letting you have this motor.
Goes with the job.
What exactly is it that you do?
Well, I suppose I'm what you would call a management trainee.
Really?
Paddy, make sure you have this car back by 8:15 Monday. Polish. Who's that?
Vauxhall Opel. You'll like the people. You'll love the cars. If you're viewing without a TV license, you'll need to keep one eye on the road. Because TV detector vans are in this area. They have the address of every house or flat that doesn't have a TV license. So you could face a summons and a fine of up to £200. Please get a license before you get a visit. What can cool, can smooth, can give maximum protection at all times? This can. Castrol GTX Liquid Engineering.
Happiness is a cigar called Hamlet, the mild cigar.
What we took here for breakfast now? Some rolled oats, wheat flakes, golden brown sugar, hazelnuts and raisins. I suppose you'd like it coated with honey and roasted into crunchy clusters. What an excellent idea.
Sort this lot out, Chef. It's easy. It's Quaker Harvest Crunch.
That tasted beautiful, wonderfully crunchy. One criticism, the milk. A trifle too cold?
Quaker Harvest Crunch. It tastes as good as it sounds. Rose white, lily white, apple white. The whiter shades of pale. Fresh from Dulux.
Gloria, Vanderbilt.
running very nicely without pets, and everybody's happy except for you.
Ah, that's where you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. Oh, give him a dummy and get shut of him.
Oh, yeah. This will make a very nice pet for you, Ernest. It's loyal, never needs feeding. It's ideal in every way. Top me off with one of these fluffy folderols. I demand the real thing. Now, you haven't heard the last of this.
Just get this straight, Derek. If he finds out the real reason why we can't have pets up here, you're in dead trouble.
I am going to start a campaign that will make the welkin ring.
A few pet problems for Ernest Springer in Dead Ernest tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And with more comedy to come in Hill Street Blues at 9 o'clock, these are our programmes for Monday nights on Central.
IRA kill Ulster policeman as he leaves church. 26 die on El Salvador's election day. 2 National Gallery masterpieces slashed. And why they said no to Little Legs. Good evening. A senior Ulster policeman was shot dead today in front of his children as he left church. Inspector Norman Duddy, who was 45, is the first full-time RUC man to be murdered this year. The IRA had said they did it. He had just left a Presbyterian church in Londonderry where he was a member of the choir. He was with his 2 teenage sons. As they prepared to drive home, 2 men rode up on a motorcycle and fired through the car window at point-blank range. His sons were unhurt. Inspector Duddy was killed instantly. The shooting happened only 200 yards from Londonderry's main police station where the inspector worked. In El Salvador, the controversial general election has gone ahead despite heavy fighting in which 26 people have been killed today. Left-wing guerrillas attacked polling booths across the country in attempts to disrupt voting. Political groups on the left are boycotting the election because they say their candidates would be attacked by the right. But America's ambassador in El Salvador has called today's poll a major success. He says it'll end the civil war. Guerrilla forces have launched their biggest attack in over a year to coincide with the election, and some of the heaviest fighting was in the center of the capital, San Salvador.
It started at dawn, guerrillas challenging the army in a middle-class suburb in the north of the city. The troops at first uncertain where the rebels were. The guerrilla tactic apparently to try to prevent voting from starting here. Suddenly, an armored personnel carrier moved in. It was to prove to be the guerrillas' undoing. Holed up in the adjoining shanty town, they were cornered by the advancing troops. A blazing exchange for 15 minutes, running, and then the end. Guerrilla dead strewn across the shanty street. Troops checking the corpses for ammunition and valuables. Still more shots as the soldiers carried their own casualties. 12 dead guerrillas, an entire commando squad wiped out. In the aftermath, terrified shanty dwellers brought from their houses at gunpoint, forced to lie on the ground and brutally questioned. Some in panic-stricken shock. Amid it all, election slogans on a lamppost. And a mile away, on the southern side of town, in tranquility, voting. It is compulsory, and to be found without a voting stamp in your ID card risks much. But if the guerrilla design was to halt it, then here in the capital at least, there was a kind of election. But if this was the scene in the city, that in the areas where the guerrillas are strong was very different. 37 tankers had set out in a military convoy from San Salvador trying to get petrol to the east of the country to fuel buses and trucks to get people to the polls. Suddenly, the guerrillas were spotted ahead and all hell broke loose. The Minister of Defense had said that the convoy would get through, but even his helicopter gunships failed to dislodge the rebels. Mortar and machine gun fire smashed the lead army truck. The vehicle behind hurtled back to the convoy bearing the casualties. 3 escort soldiers wounded, and, in the back of the truck, the body of the army driver. Usulatan, on the only other road east, was raked with gunfire too. No vehicle passed east all day. Troops in the town, just fending off the guerrillas in the suburbs, pinning down residents on street corners. And on the nearby airfield, an emergency landing of 300 of the US-trained quick response troops. They had been withdrawn from the streets of the capital, where they'd been deployed to protect polling. The convoy, meanwhile, was turning back, forced back by guerrilla action. El Salvador cut in two for the first time ever. The military had failed to get supplies through to the east. There, the people have endured 2 weeks without fuel or electricity. Yet these are the conditions in which they're being asked to vote. Back in the capital, tears. A mother grieves for her son, shot in a firefight with the army in yet another polling day incident. Outside, in one of 10 separate battles, soldiers fired up shantytown alleys. A bloody day for thousands, and little hope that the vote will do anything to relieve the interminable suffering. Jon Snow, ITN, El Salvador.
The ITN crew with Jon Snow in El Salvador is Alan Downs and Don Warren. In London, 5,000 people marched through the streets in protest at the El Salvador elections. The marchers went past the American embassy, denouncing the elections as a fraud aimed at installing a right-wing president. The demonstrators called for an end to American support for El Salvador's military regime.
US aid, free of charge, no strings attached, just a rope around your neck.
In Trafalgar Square, the demonstrators heard the Labour leader, Mr. Michael Foot, describe the elections as a grisly farce and attacked the British government for sending observers there. Argentina has cancelled all Navy leave as tension with Britain over the disputed Falkland Islands grows. Argentina has sent 5 warships into the South Atlantic, and it's thought they may be heading for the disputed Falkland territory of South Georgia. The Ministry of Defence in London say they've sent a scientific research vessel, the John Biscoe, with a party of Marines to replace the garrison of 40 men guarding the islands. The ice patrol ship HMS Endurance is already anchored off the coast of South Georgia with a squad of 12 Marines on board. They were directed there after an Argentine salvage team landed there to dismantle an old whaling station. The men were armed, they raised the Argentine flag and sang their national anthem. 2 paintings worth millions of pounds each have been slashed at the National Gallery. The paintings, a Turner and a Claude, were cut several times, but they can be restored. Turner bequeathed his sun rising through vapor to the gallery when he died in 1851. It measures 4 feet 6 by 6 feet. Claude's The Mill, which is slightly larger, was one of the original works bought when the gallery was founded in 1824. The paintings were hanging together, and an 18-year-old youth has been charged with criminal damage. The Israeli government has said today it had uncovered a plan by the Palestine Liberation Organization for a civil uprising on the occupied West Bank of the Jordan. The Israelis said that widespread disturbances were planned to start in May after Israel had withdrawn from the Sinai. The announcement comes on the day when 3 more Arabs were wounded in clashes with Israeli army patrols. The Israelis say that it was because of their uncovering of the plan that they dismissed 3 West Bank Arab mayors last week. Ian Smith's top sanction buster, who flew supply planes during Rhodesia's years of UDI, has died flying his wartime Spitfire. 62-year-old Jack Mallet flew with the RAF during the war, flew in the Berlin airlift, carried arms and mercenaries into the Congo, and the first food into Biafra. This 31-year-old Spitfire was the love of his life. During his sanction-busting journeys, he collected spares and rebuilt it. He crashed yesterday in a maneuver like this, the famous Spitfire peel-off. He disappeared into the clouds and crashed just outside Salisbury. The Space Shuttle Columbia is now all set to land on schedule at 8:27 our time tomorrow evening at the White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. The astronauts, Jack Lasmer and Gordon Fullerton, were showing how they'd overcome the problems of weightless eating during their 3.5 million mile flight. They also opened the payload bay doors to reveal the Earth 150 miles below. The view, they said, was spectacular. When Columbia lands tomorrow, she'll have made 116 orbits of Earth in a mission lasting 7 days. The first yacht in to finish the Whitbread round-the-world race should cross the line at Portsmouth